Hi, on our next show, we have some wonderful guests for you. Burt Reynolds. Vidal Sassoon will be here with one of the funniest women in America, Miss...
No, Regis, that's supposed to be a surprise.
What's a surprise?
Our guest. She's one of the funniest women in America.
Yeah, I know that and you know that, but I'd like the people at home to know that.
No, they'll just have to tune in to see who it is.
Well, how about just one hint?
Well...
Can we talk? You won't want to miss our next show.
The Morning Show with Regis Philbin and Cindy Garvey, tomorrow morning at 9 on Channel 7.
Fighting City Hall today at 5 o'clock.
Do you know where Valerie is right now, Mike? She's out shopping for a trousseau. Maybe for a bridal gown, too. Can you imagine what's going on in her mind, what she's thinking?
Sky, as soon as you return from this trip, you'll be able to explain.
No, that'll be too long. The longer we wait to tell Valerie, the worse the effect is going to be on her.
I agree with you. Valerie should hear the truth as soon as possible.
All right, then. I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her before I get on board to that plane to Washington. I'm not going to live with this lie for another day. I'm going to tell her the truth, and who the hell knows when I'm going to come back anyway.
I'm sure it won't be that long.
The only thing I'm sure of is that Valerie is engaged to a man who has no intentions of marrying her and doesn't love her.
Stop it!
Oh, Val.
Valerie, I thought you'd left.
No, I just seem to have saved you the trouble of having to find me.
Val, this isn't the way I wanted you to find out about this.
I imagine not.
Look, I was going to sit down with you. The two of us were going to talk. I was going to try to...
Arrange a little something over candlelight and wine, maybe, Sky?
Val, please. Let me explain.
No! No! I don't want to talk about it.
Valerie, there's a great deal more to this than you realize.
Well, I'm sure there is, Mike, but I don't want to hear about it right now, okay?
Val, listen, I know this seems unforgivable, but there's a reason.
Reason? What reason, Sky? You can give me a reason for cruelty? Nancy was right. Somehow she knew, she sensed that you were just playing this vicious game with me. You know what she told me? Be careful, you're getting too involved. And I said, no, no. You're wrong, Nancy. Sky is an honest, decent man. What a laugh. Do you realize that I resented her for saying anything against the wonderful, attentive, loving Skylar Whitney? I couldn't understand why she could be so critical of you all of a sudden. I guess I'm pretty stupid. I hope you enjoyed yourself enormously.
Valerie, don't go. There is a reason, believe me.
How can I believe you? Believe you? How can I believe anything anymore? You're telling me that our whole relationship was a lie?
Valerie, listen. Sky can't tell you the reason for all this, but I can, and I will.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Pampers. America's mothers trust their babies to Pampers dryness. And by Duncan Hines cakes. So moist and delicious, you know they're Duncan Hines.
Bye-bye, good old pie.
Duncan Hines cake rises
New Duncan Hines rises to new heights of moistness.
This is the day of new taste.
Deluxious.
This is the day of new moistness.
New Deluxe Yellow rises above the rest.
Moisture.
A super creamy batter for higher moistness. Amazing moistness. New heights of moistness.
Now America's rising to a new taste.
Moist.
Rising high to a new taste. High rising.
Moisture.
New moistness. Duncan Hines Deluxe.
Delicious.
Bye-bye, good old pie. Duncan Hines cake rises so high.
Rises to new heights of moistness.
Duncan Hines Deluxe.
Deluxious.
Have I got great news for babies? I'm delivering a remarkable new diaper. New fitted Pampers with stay-dry gathers.
Pampers are fitted? That's terrific.
Now they help protect your baby from wetness right down to his toes. Pampers' new stay-dry gathers mean a drier baby outside the diaper.
And Fitted Pampers still has the cushion quilted lining?
Yep, that helps keep baby dry inside the diaper.
That's wetness protection, right down to his toes.
New Fitted Pampers at a Pampers price.
Who can resist that?
New Fitted Pampers with Stay Dry Gathers helps protect your baby against wetness right down to his toes. Yep, it's a great time to be a baby.
You know, it's positively glorious. Into turquoise I've ever seen.
Turquoise? Why don't you just say turquoise like everybody else?
Because I'm not like everybody else.
Oh, yeah? Well, who are you?
I'm a man who loves you beyond a reason.
All right. You can say turquoise as much as you like.
Well, why are you indoors, anyway?
I'm writing cards.
Oh, it's boring.
Oh, yeah? They're French postcards.
That's not boring. Let's have a look.
Here.
What are these? Arc de Triomphe, West Bank. What's this? Dearest Geraldine, April in Paris. What could be more perfect? Are you crazy? Postcards from Paris when we were in the Caribbean?
Well, we told everyone we were going abroad.
Yes, but these will be postmarked from the islands.
Well, I'm going to put them all into this envelope. I'm going to send them to a friend of mine in Paris, and then she's going to mail them from there.
You're so cute, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. So tell me, why didn't we go to Paris? Why didn't we go abroad?
I wanted the honeymoon to go as planned. We both wanted to come here. You like it, don't you?
Well, I like it here, but I was thinking about all those shops in Paris. Well, maybe we can go there another time.
I'm afraid France is one country that's not on the agenda for me.
Well, why not?
Oh, I once had a little brush with the French immigration authorities. I don't think they would exactly welcome me back with open arms. But here, we're in the glorious Caribbean. We're together.
It is beautiful.
You know, you're looking a bit better. Not quite as pale as when we arrived.
Yeah, well, I feel a lot better. You must think I'm terribly boring. I mean, getting sick on your honeymoon.
Well, I know something that will cheer you up. Stay right there. I'll be back in a minute.
What can I get you, Gavin?
A little more coffee will make me a happy man.
Oh, you're very easily pleased this morning.
Am I?
Well, then, what would make you a happy man?
Enough money to buy the Whitney Theater myself.
Ah, well, barring that, do you have any plans? Do you have any idea of what you'll be doing?
None at the moment. Only what I won't do. So far, I've eliminated pumping gas, bartending, and selling insurance. I keep clinging to an idea of some sort of job in the theater.
Well, since the Whitney is closing, and there's nothing in Monticello, why don't you go where the theatrical jobs are, in Los Angeles or New York?
I once considered a full-time job in the theater outside of Monticello, but it fell through.
Why? Oh, probably couldn't stand the thought of being away from your little girlfriend.
That was one thing at the time.
Ah. You know, there's always something that's puzzled me about your relationship with Jody.
Is that right?
I think I shouldn't talk about it. You're a little touchy on this subject, but, well, everything I've heard about her proves she's a very nice girl, but that's just it. You're such a man, I think she's a little young for you.
She isn't at all. As a matter of fact, she's a very mature person for someone...
Gavin, let's drop it. I'm sorry I brought up the past. It's my fault. I apologize.
Forget it.
Well, there's no reason for you to stay in Monticello now. She's left you, and you're free to do whatever you like.
That's right.
And you have done just what you please. So why stay in Monticello? Why not find greener pastures?
My reluctance to leave has nothing to do with Jody. Monticello is my home. I have a lot of close friends here. And the thought of starting someplace new just frightens me.
Well, you lived and worked in New York when you were with that French dancer, Martine Duval.
You seem to know an awful lot about me, Camilla.
Sounds like you have a complete dossier.
Oh, well, it's not complete. But when I care about someone, I find out everything I can. I think you should be in New York. You'll grow better as a director in an atmosphere of competition. New York is the mecca of American theater, darling. Besides, I think we could have fun there.
Camilla, don't you know that there are dozens of directors looking for work in New York? And most of them are much more experienced than I am. Besides that... Did you say we?
Let me put it this way. If you leave, I leave. It's as simple as that.
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense, darling. My brother won't be back for months. Even if he came back tomorrow, I wouldn't want to spend a single day in the same house with that woman he's married. Not even in the same town, so I have nothing to hold me in Monticello. In other words, you have a traveling companion if you'll have me. And I'll be whatever else you want me to be, too.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. I'm here to see Camilla Devereaux. Please tell her that Patricia Devereaux is calling.
Is she expecting you?
That's not likely.
Well, I'm afraid she's having breakfast with a guest.
Oh, how lovely. Now there'll be two.
Scotchgard. Scotchgard carpet cleaner plus protector. No other cleaner cleans better and gives you the clean that stays clean. No other cleaner cleans better and leaves Scotchgard protection that won't let soil dig in. Stops most spills from turning into stains.
Come on, Leonard.
Get the only cleaner with Scotchgard protection for carpets and for upholstery. For the clean that stays clean.
Tastes wonderful.
Tastes so good.
Trident Sugarless gum gives me the same flavor I've had before in sugared gums.
Taste the one.
I like the flavor. It continues to last.
Taste the one that'll win you over to sugarless gum.
4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
Tastes good. The flavor lasts a long time, and it won't hurt my teeth.
Taste the one that'll win you over to sugarless gum.
Valerie, I'm sorry, I can't tell you all the details. Some of the information is highly confidential. We've only been allowed to know some of the basics, but I can tell you this. The stakes for this country are enormous.
Oh, Mike, it all sounds so bizarre.
It is. But it's the only reason that I'd allow you to go through with this kind of suffering that you've been going through. Valerie, I want you to believe that I was forced into the situation. I never wanted to see you hurt. Just an ugly, rotten game.
The agent from the CEA, David Cameron, pulled the strings for everybody involved in this case. There was nothing any of us could do but respond. But the greatest injustice was that you were a victim, Valerie. It was excruciating for Nancy and me to know what we knew and not be able to tell you.
But Nancy was trying to tell me.
Yes. She came close to revealing it several times, but Cameron kept pulling her back. He even had her sent out of the country to cover a phony news story because he was afraid she wouldn't cooperate.
Her trip to South America?
That's right. And when Nancy and I found out that Cameron was behind it, we were furious. But he was determined to arrange this marriage between Ian and Raven. And to keep Ian from suspecting anything, he used your engagement to Sky as the clincher.
It's very clever.
There's no excuse for what I've done, Valerie. I wish the hell I could find one. It's just that I was forced into the situation.
There is one point I'd like to make. We've all been thinking about our own sacrifices. And you have been the worst victim. It's been especially bad for you and for you too, Sky. But there have been hundreds of people in our government's employ who would suffer even more if it weren't for your sacrifices. Now, I know you probably don't want to hear this. It may amuse you. It might even make you angry. But there is a kind of selfless nobility in that.
There's not much comfort now, Mike, is it?
You'll have to decide that, Sky. Personally, I don't agree with you.
Well, maybe I'll agree with you someday, Mike. But I don't think so.
I'm counting on that, Valerie.
I know that this is going to look like I'm running out when there's still a lot left to say, but I've got to catch that 3 o'clock flight to Washington. This is the next step in the CEA plan. See, Cameron is still pulling strings.
Go, Sky. I don't think I can take much more of this anyway.
You're a very special lady, Valerie Bryson. And who knows if things have been different. But as it is, someday you'll consider yourself lucky for having escaped me. I just hope that someday you'll be able to forgive me.
Cammy all over, pretty Miss Marilyn, the one with the beautiful skin, soft and clean to turn a young man's eye, and the coconut soap is the reason why. She's Cammy all over, legs and toes, arms and elbows, Cammy all over.
Camay is the only leading beauty bar that's 1/2 creamy coconut soap for richer, creamier lather. So Camay leaves you feeling soft and smooth all over.
So her hips as soft as her lips, not just her face, but every place. She used Camay all over.
Camay for beautiful skin all over.
Camay all over.
Oh, one more stretch and I'll drop. Beauty knows no pain. Here. What'd you do to this towel? Just washed it. Why? Smells so fresh. What'd you use? Something new. A liquid softener? Nope. A toss-in sheet? Uh-uh. Come on, everybody knows only a fabric softener gets a towel soft and fresh. So what'd you add?
I didn't add anything.
New Bold 3 did. We added more fabric softener freshness. So now you get cleaning, softening, and static control. Plus more fabric softener freshness, all in one box.
New Bold 3. I thought you were pulling my leg. That's why we do aerobics. Oh, very good.
New Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener. Now with more fabric softener freshness.
Miss Devereaux. Mrs. Devereaux.
Oh, Patricia. Well, what a surprise. Did you forget something when you were here last night?
No. I'm sorry about barging in like this. I didn't realize that I was interrupting a tete-a-tete.
Oh, didn't Cassie inform you?
Well, yes, she did, but I was sure that you wouldn't mind.
Ah. Well, let me present Gavin Wiley. Gavin, this is Mrs. Patricia Devereaux, Ian's ex-wife.
How do you do?
How do you do?
If you're wondering about the surname, Gavin, Patricia decided to keep the name Devereaux after her divorce from Ian. It's so much easier to pronounce than, Klatzmeyer, isn't it, Pat?
Infinitely.
Well, let's not stand on ceremony. Sit down, won't you? I trust you're going to join us for breakfast.
Oh, absolutely.
Cassie, there'll be a third for breakfast.
But all you ordered was oatmeal.
That's fine. I'm afraid all we have is oatmeal. I'm sure you understand, Patricia.
Oh, that's just fine. It's very kind of you to invite me.
Well, let's see. Oh, you might find this interesting. Mr. Wiley is in the theater. He's a director, actually.
Oh, well, that is interesting. Here in Monticello?
Up until a day or two ago, yes.
But soon he's planning to go to New York, aren't you, darling?
I was just thinking about it. It's a very big perhaps.
Well, once you get the theater bug, it's hard to find an antidote, isn't it? You know, I used to do some acting myself before I married Ian. Although, come to think of it, I did considerably more acting after we were married. But then that's what so many women have to do to hold a marriage together. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, you two aren't planning on getting married, are you?
Oh, no, darling. We just live together.
Oh. Well, whatever makes you happy. By the way, Camilla, you haven't, heard from Ian by any way, have you?
Oh, for heaven's sake, no. I don't expect to hear from him for ages. He's on his honeymoon. He's besotted with his new wife. I'm sure he's having a grand time. Well, I don't blame him, really. She's quite a dish, as they say, isn't she, Gavin?
Well, I guess.
Miss Devereaux, your brother's on the phone.
Well, for heaven's sake, this is a surprise. I'll take it in the other room. Excuse me, won't you?
Oh, look, Camilla, darling, why don't you take it in here? I'm sure that Mr. Wiley and I won't mind, will we?
No.
Why not? Ian, darling, what a surprise to hear from you.
Just checking to see how you are.
Well, how kind of you. I'm doing fine. The question is, how are you and Raven doing?
Oh, fine, except Raven's been rather ill ever since we left Monticello. Rather odd selection of headaches.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that. Since you left Monticello, for where, darling?
Now, you're not going to get it out of me that easily, Camilla. It's a secret. No. And I don't know how long it'll be. Suffice it to say, we'll be back in Monticello perhaps in a month.
Ah. Well, thank you so much for calling, darling. So good to hear from you.
Hey, now, wait a minute. What are you trying to hustle me off the phone for? What's going on there?
Oh, nothing much. A surprise visitor this morning for breakfast. Your ex-wife, Patricia.
Patricia?
Please, let me speak to her.
Oh, she wants to say hello, darling.
Camilla, don't put her on the line, for God's sake.
Congratulations, darling. I hope this one is, more compliant.
What was that all about?
Oh, there's nothing.
Oh, Ian, there you go, being secretive again. You promised me you weren't going to do that anymore.
No. I don't wish to be secretive. If you really want to know the truth, that was my ex-wife.
If you're still worrying about frizz every time you perm, get the perm that's never frizzy. Relax. You can get the soft, natural-looking curls you want without any frizz. Get a Rave. Rave Soft Perm. The first soft one, gentle one. No ammonia, no odor, no frizz. For a soft, natural look with no worry, no frizz.
I love it.
Get a Rave and relax.
If there's somewhere you need to be and your phone won't let you get there,
Oh, no, Howard, there goes supper.
then get the Radio Shack cordless telephone. It's now sale priced at $69.95. And because it's cordless, this convenient Radio Shack telephone lets you move from room to room, so you can get to where you need to be.
Howard, you are gonna love your supper.
Get the Radio Shack cordless telephone, now sale priced at 30% off, and make Radio Shack your telephone company.
On Ryan's Hope,
Oh, Mary.
visions of Mary haunt Maeve and Jack.
You were the best thing in my life.
A different kind of love story. Ryan's Hope. Weekdays.
Mallory, you've got to realize the last thing Nancy and I wanted was to see you suffer. It was hell just standing by, watching it happen.
Yeah, but you did it. You did it, didn't you? Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just that I had such high hopes. I had so many wonderful plans, and they all involved Sky. And then to just have them wiped away in a few-minute conversation. Now I don't want anything. I want to go to sleep.
You must be exhausted. You're not going back to the studio, are you?
No, there's nothing important to attend to there. I guess I'll just go home.
That's a good idea.
Mike, you haven't put yourself in jeopardy by telling me this, have you?
That doesn't concern me now. I see no reason for anyone to be hurt if you keep it to yourself.
sorry, Mike. I'm not going to tell anyone.
Your ex-wife. What are you doing talking to your ex-wife on my honeymoon? Thought she was in Palm Beach.
She's in Monticello because she's heard about my marriage. Curiosity conquers distance.
Oh, really? Well, why did you two break up in the first place?
Oh, we were compatible in nearly every way, except one, the most important one. Patricia couldn't, or rather wouldn't, share my life with me.
Why not?
You see, I decided to be honest with her, Raven. And by being honest with her, it was my downfall. You see, I wanted to tell her everything. And when I did, the whole marriage fell apart. You see, that's why I've been so hesitant to tell you.
Ian, please. I'm Raven. I'm not Patricia.
I know. And that's why I'm going to tell you everything. Come in.
Your lunch on, sir.
Thank you. Just
and a newspaper from your hometown.
Oh, I'll
Compliments
take
of the
that.
management.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Raven. Let's have some lunch. And I'll tell you everything.
No. I got a headache here.
Getting this family to try a caffeine-free cola wasn't easy. They thought they'd have to give up taste, but they didn't with new Pepsi Free. Leave it to Pepsi to make caffeine-free cola taste this terrific. Pepsi Free. There's regular and sugar-free with 1 calorie. How about that?
The taste is positively Pepsi and it's caffeine-free. Positively Pepsi-free. Pepsi-free.
We're after the Chips Ahoy 16-chip story.
Got a batch baking right now.
Wow, all those chips!
It's turning golden brown.
An average of 16 chocolate chips baked into every cookie.
Mmm. Delicious.
You can always count on Chips Ahoy.
Great headline. Can we quote you? For 16 chips, you can count on Chips Ahoy. Extra, extra. For 16 chips, you can count on Chips Ahoy cookies.
Nabisco.
This is Joan London. Tomorrow on Good Morning America, more on the space shuttle mission, and we'll talk with Henry Winkler and Joan Rivers. This week, Robert Blake, Mike Connors, and Carol Burnett on Good Morning America.
Tonight, a 10-year-old girl who trains tigers and one of the world's youngest belly dancers on That's Incredible. Then, Tom Selleck stars as a divorce attorney, caught in his own trap when his marriage fails. In Divorce Wars, a love story on the ABC Monday Night Movie.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, over 1 million Americans disappear each year. Many are never heard from again.
A missing person is about the lowest priority I can think of.
Why is more effort put into finding stolen cars than missing persons? ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
Are you stuck in a junk food rut? Try moist, plump, delicious California prunes. They'll lift you out of your junk food rut.
Good afternoon, I'm Ernie Anastas. Coming up today on the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News, one of the most famous actresses in movie history is dead. Gloria Swanson died here in New York today. We'll have that story, and we'll also have this coming up for you.
What I have here right now might not look like anything, but you could say it's a chimp off the old block. I'm Mara Walensky. I'll have the story.